All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem Rakakwadash, giving double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone. Shalom to the hopefully elect. Shalom to all the brothers out here laboring in this truth with sincerity, and shalom to the few sisters that watch. It's your brother Radah out of the GMS Atlanta camp, coming back with another lesson, going into, you know, being frivolous, having a frivolous spirit, in this truth. And, we're just going to go into what it means to be frivolous or have a frivolous spirit, and then we're going to get a couple of scriptures, man. But, because we're in a time, man, if we're in this truth, whether you're teaching or, being preaching the word, man. Even if you're Israelite and you're following, the correct doctrine, you can't afford to have a frivolous spirit, because we're in serious times. We're in dire times right now, man. We see what's going on throughout the earth around us. Paying attention, being a watchman, and is no way that you could be in a not so serious spirit, man. So let's go and get what it means to be frivolous.
Frivolous.
It says not having any serious purpose or value, just doing something just to be doing it. But as it relates to having a frivolous spirit, because brothers could, some people could be frivolous in this truth and still care about it, man. But it's let's see, the AI overview of a frivolous spirit says refers to a light-heartedness or lack of seriousness, often associated with a lack of concern for important matters or deeper values. It can also describe a disposition that neglects spiritual growth or is easily amused at trivial things, being a part of the world, not taking this truth serious, man, not trying to grow in the faith, not really trying to learn, not trying to better yourself to be a better student, a better teacher, to be able to, better the body, so to speak. So it says here's a more detailed breakdown. It says lack of seriousness. A frivolous spirit is characterized by a carefree attitude and a tendency to take things lightly, even when they should be taken seriously. And this truth is to be taken seriously, man. Every aspect of it, whether you're teaching, holding posts, holding signs, holding a camera, whatever, man. It's all meant to be serious, because really, we're on a spiritual battlefield, man, and really it could be a actual physical battlefield, Hey, man, we're in some crazy times, man, and people are losing it. People are crashing out, so if we're at camp or even just out in our daily lives, man, we have to keep our heads on the swivel and know what's going on around us. So it says neglect of important matters. It says this spirit may indicate a lack of concern for deeper values or principles, potentially leading to a disregard for moral or ethical considerations. And we see this, man, with the 2/3, man. That frivolous spirit is all on the 2/3, man. They can care less about anything, man. These YNs, these YBs, all of them, they can care less. It says spiritual implications. It says in a religious context, a frivolous spirit can be viewed as a sign of a spiritual detachment or a failure to embrace the seriousness of faith. And we know this faith, this truth is deadly serious, man. You know, because any given time, Yahweh Shem Yahushua could take us out at any given time. So what it say? Examples. It says this could manifest in someone who is easily amused at trivial things. You know, being a part of the world. You know, falling for some chick. You know, seeing cars, seeing money, and falling for it. It says, who fails to take responsibility for their actions, or who is dismissive of serious issues. And everything about this truth is serious. You know, we have some lighthearted times, some lighthearted conversations or something like that, man. But you know, when it's time to get busy, man, and it's true, we got to get busy, man. You know, so let's go to the book of 2 Timothy. You know, and oftentimes, man, you know, our apostles and elders, you know, always tell us, man, you know, it's best to be stoic within this truth. So let's go to the book of 2 Timothy chapter 4. It says, matter of fact, let's get in the NLT. It says, preach the word of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Be prepared whether the time is favorable or not. Patiently correct, rebuke, and encourage your people with good teachings. And if you're in a frivolous spirit, you're not going to be serious. You're not going to take the ministry serious, and the people are going to be able to tell that, man. You know, the believers, you know, the ones that's hearing the word, they're gonna see, and it's a clear indication of a lot of these guys out here that want to debate, that want to want all the likes, the followings, you know, and compromise the doctrine while doing it, you know, because they're not serious, really, you know. Don't have 100% truth, you know, like as we do, you know, from apostle on down, man. You know, if you have a frivolous spirit within GMS, man, you're not gonna make it. And that's something that I have observed, man. Nobody is playing around, you know. All right. Verse 5, it says, but you should keep a clear mind in every situation. Do not be afraid of suffering for the Lord, man. You know, if you're in a frivolous spirit, you're going to be weak. You know, you're going to give up during hard times. You're not going to be able to endure. So you have to be serious. It says, work at telling others the good news, you know, this truth, man. That this truth is only for the Israelites. You know, our Lord Yahushua is coming back to save the Israelites, you know, the elect of Israel, and no one else. And your enemies are going to be destroyed, man, and put in slavery. It says, and fully carry out the ministry of Yahweh. Fully carry out the ministry Yahweh Shem Yahushua has given you. You gotta understand that this is a serious matter, man. You've been endowed with the key to salvation, man. The key to everlasting life. You know, the key to endure of what's to come. You know, so you have to take it serious, man. So you know, we just gonna get into it, man, and wrap it up. You know, it's not meant to be a long, drawn out lesson, man. Just straight to the point, Lord willing, and Lord willing is edifying. All right, this is the book of Revelation, chapter 20, verse 4. It says, all right, so lock you for that. Let's go back to the King James. Book of Revelation, chapter 20, and verse 4. Because and this goes to show you, man, you know, this truth is very serious because people are going to lose their lives behind it, man. You know, people are gonna lose their lives for, doing the will of Yahweh Shem Shai. Calling the name of Yahweh Shem Shai and doing what he instructed you to do. So this is the book of Revelation chapter 20 and verse 4. It says, "And I saw thrones, and they that sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahweh Shai." This is going into the elect. So you're going to have men that actually got decapitated, for doing the will of Yahweh Shem Shai. So, how can you have a frivolous spirit when you know these things are coming? It says, "And for the word of Yahweh Shem Shai," says, which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands. So if you don't take that charagma, you definitely gonna stand the possibility of losing your life, especially if you're preaching this word, man. Because believe it or not, these people definitely know who we are by name, social, and everything. So it says, "And they that lived and reigned with Hamashiach for 1,000 years." This is going into the elect, man. The men that stood stiffly for this truth. So let's go to book of 1 Timothy chapter 4. And we're just going to drop down to verse 12 and read on. All right, this book of 1 Timothy chapter 4 and verse 12, it says, "Let no man despise thy youth, but be thou an example of the believers in word, in conversation, in charity, in spirit, in faith, in purity." So you ain't got time to be playing, man. You gotta lead by example. It says, "Till I come, give attendance to reading, to exhortation, to doctrine. Neglect not the gift that is in thee." Gotta be serious. Gotta study to show thyself approved in the eyes of Yahweh Shem Shai. Says, "Which was given thee by prophecy with the laying on of the hands of the presbytery." It says, meditate upon these things, give thyself wholly to them. So, you ain't got time to be distracted, man. It's all about this truth, first and foremost. It says, "That thy profiting may appear to all." It says, "Take heed unto thyself and unto the doctrine, continue in them, for in doing this thou shalt both save thyself and them that hear thee." So, there's a lot on the line, man. Your life is on the line. The lives of others are on the line. The lives of your family are on the line. So definitely got to take this truth serious, man. No playing games. And Lord willing, Yahweh Shem Shai keep his spirit upon me as well as the rest of the sensitive brothers out here, man. So, with that being said, we want to constantly give our praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rikakodash. Shalom.